Guess who's back? Back again.
I hear a lot of your talks, and as you just said, right? You say that accept people, don't expect. See when you go home in the evening, right? So the kids have spread their toys all over the place. They don't want to eat food. They don't. They haven't done their homework. So I mean, it becomes difficult to accept that thing, right? When you're living in a family, when you're living in a society. So if you can help answer how you can, yeah, thank you.
I know all those feelings because I too live in a house with young children who constantly play with toys like young children do. And it is a lot not to get overwhelmed by that. So I would love some advice from BK Shivani. And thank you to everyone who's watching, especially you. Let's do this.
It's the meaning of accept people. We need to understand what acceptance means. So let's take the same scene. If we can change something, we change. We can't change. Now we can change. Now I have two options. Either
that's a very stoic thought. I love a bit of stoicism about, accepting the things we cannot change.
Or I can change this because I'm not getting to see you properly. The other is I can't change it. But I have one option, not to keep looking at it and keep getting irritated. Because then the obstacle is not here. Then the obstacle is here. So accepting people, you've come home in the evening and like you said, the toys are all around. The child has not finished the homework and they're not eating well.
I don't come home in the evening because I'm with my children all day because as some of you might know, we home educate, but there are always toys all around. They don't have homework, so that's a plus side. And what's the last thing? Oh, and they're not eating well. My kids don't really have a problem with that, so 1 out of 3 ain't bad.
All three are issues of concern. We want them to study, we want them to eat well, we want them to be very perfect in their way of living, neat and clean, issues of concern. But for them to implement all these three, they need to be emotionally strong. They may want to listen to you and they may want to obey you, but they might not be able to do it because right now they are not carrying that habit. We are all creatures of our habits.
And can we just point out that this isn't just about our children. A lot of adults aren't able to keep their place tidy, do the work that is expected of them, and for sure not many adults eat healthy. I would say more don't than do.
And we're focusing on changing our habits, and what we want is to change the habits of our children. There are two things that we need to change a habit. One, the knowledge of the right habit, and two is the power to change the habit. Most of us, almost all of us, have the knowledge of the right habit. But like you said so sweetly, I know I have to do it for 1 month, but I might not be able to do it. Which means I have the knowledge. I know what is right for me, but what am I lacking? I'm lacking the power to do it. Who is the I who's lacking the power to do it? It's the I. The I, which we can call energy, we can call it power, we can call it soul, we can call it consciousness. Whatever the word, it's an energy. It's an energy which thinks, which decides, which comes into action. 3 roles of that energy. I, think, decide, come into action. That I, when it is strong and powerful, it will think right, take the right decisions, and bring out into right actions. When I is weak, I'm not able to think right, I may create a lot of wrong thoughts, I'm not able to take right decisions. If you look around your family and friends today, you will find a lot of people who are coming up to you, talking to you about what decision they should take in life. Do you have people who come and talk to you? What do you think I should be doing? Why would we go and ask somebody else what we should be doing? It's my life, my relationship, my work, my children, my business. And we go to the extent of asking our friends, what do you think? Should I live with my husband or should I divorce him? You go and ask someone else. But you know why we go and ask someone else? Don't have the power to take the decision. And most important, don't have the power to face the consequences of the decision. And so I'm very happy if somebody else takes the decision for me. I'm not ready to take the responsibility of the decision, which means I am weak. I'm not creating right thoughts, then I'm not able to take decisions, and when both these things don't go right, then my right actions is not going to happen. So now let's look at the child. One.
I'll just interject. I was having this conversation with another mum friend yesterday that sometimes I feel like I get decision fatigue because I spend my days like constantly making decisions based on what the children are asking me or what needs to be done. And I don't like, maybe I have the weak power, probably do, but I generally like can start to feel like it drains me. So if she has any advice on that, that would be great.
One, they might not have the right knowledge that they are supposed to study. Two, they have the knowledge but they don't have the power to do it. And three, they prefer to do something else. So what do they need? They don't need advice. They need power. How do I give them power? I can give advice. We all can give advice to each other. How do we give power to our children?
The internet is full of people giving advice, but that advice is worthless if we can't turn that advice into right action.
Now visualize a scene. Children at home, not having done anything that was expected. In walks the parent. And then the parent says, getting irritated and angry when I look at my children like this is normal. And the minute the parent creates irritation, lower frequency vibration.
I like that she says the minute the parent creates irritation, not the minute the parent is irritated or the minute the child does something to irritate. Like, we all have a choice over whether we become irritated. We create the irritation within ourselves. I believe that.
Of the parent radiates to the child, and when a lower frequency vibration radiates to the child, what have we just done to the child? Depleted them more than what they were before.
Wow.
And this is happening on a day-to-day basis. It's not just once in a while. It is happening every day. We are reacting to people's mistakes. And when we react to their mistakes, we deplete them. And while we are depleting them, the first one who's getting depleted is me. And collectively, the vibration of the house is getting depleted. And then together, we are living in that depleted house. Since not 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, many, many years. How many of you feel that we experience peace when we go to a place where the energy is high? You go to a temple, you go to a church, you go to a gurdwara. You just go somewhere where it's very peaceful. And do you feel peaceful when you're there? But we can observe that there is a shift in our energy. I am more at peace. But what we are not observing is how I'm getting depleted daily in my own house. Why? Because we've got adapted to the energy of our house. Every house has a different energy. Every house has a different energy. What if I make the energy of my house like a temple or a church? What will happen? What will happen to my children living in that house?
Oh, I like that. I like that.
What will happen to my children living in that house? They will start becoming at peace. And when they are at peace, they are strengthened. When they are strengthened, then there is a chance of them implementing the advice that they are given. But if I keep only giving advice and keep reacting when the advice is not implemented, I'm depleting the environment of my house. It's very important for children to keep their toys away. It's very important for children to study. It's very important for children to eat well. But more important than all these three, it's for the children to be emotionally strong.
I agree. It is very important for children to be emotionally strong. I don't know if I'm at the place, and I completely follow what she's saying. I don't know if I'm at the place where I do believe it's important for children to put their toys away, study. Okay, I do believe it's important they eat well. But I think a lot of, there's a lot put on kids putting their toys away and studying. Like, as home educators, I believe, or my style of home education at least, I believe that we're constantly learning all the time. And yes, it's important to study, but it's got to be something you're engaged with, and it's got to be something that's relevant to you. I'm going probably off on another tangent now. But yes, what she said, emotionally strong.
Because when the child is emotionally strong, they will automatically keep their things away. Anyone who's cluttered here is going to be cluttered here.
And I always think of that as the reverse. I always say to people like, oh, if my place is cluttered, it really affects my mind. Like, my mind feels cluttered. But maybe it's actually the other way around. And when my mind is cluttered, that's what's causing my space to become cluttered, because I'm not in the right mindset to be able to, not emotionally strong enough to be able to clear things up. And I've never thought of it as that way before. I've always said oh, my mind is affected by my environment, but maybe my environment is also affected by the state of my mind. Revelation.
So we have to set the priority right. Even if I push my child into studying well and they top every exam and they reach the best university and they come to the best organization and then they...
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up...
They come here and say they are not happy.
Happens a lot.
So then what did all my education do? Why did I work so hard? Why did I study so hard? Get into IIT. What does it mean today to get into IIT? And then I reach here. And after 20 years, I'm saying I'm not happy. Why? It's not about anything what I was studying. It's about I was not taking care of being happy while I was studying. Because the focus, like us today, our parents was also focused on study, 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 which is very important. But study along with being emotionally strong. So acceptance means not that you will just let them be their way, not that you will not tell them to study, not that you will not tell them to eat well. Acceptance means you will not react when you enter home. Acceptance means your behavior does not create a disturbance here. Acceptance doesn't mean do what you want. And acceptance just means I am not going to allow the habits of people living and working around me to deplete me. Are you ready to deplete yourself because of everyone around you?
It is amazing that we give other people that power over us, isn't it? That other people's actions can so vastly deplete our inner selves. Why are we giving that much power away to other people when it's actually entirely in our control, even though it doesn't feel like it a lot of the time?
We are depleting ourselves because of people around us. I'm not happy the way she's sitting. I'm not happy the way he's wearing. I'm not happy at the way she's looking at me. I'm not happy with anybody today.
Been there.
Because they're not sitting my way. He's not wearing my way. She's not looking at me my way. And I said I will be happy only when they are my way. And they are not my way. And they don't want to be my way. They want to be their way. So what's the option I have left? What's the option I have left? Either deplete myself every day while working with them or train myself that they dare not get in here. And accepting means now I'm going to see her sitting like this. I have options. One, I keep getting irritated inside. How can she sit like this? Why is she turning here? Why is she looking here? Why is she bending like this? Depletion. Second option, getting irritated and giving advice. Do you know what? I think you should sit straight. And she'll say, yeah, you're right. And after 30 seconds, she'll again be doing like this and like this. Because she knows the knowledge, but she doesn't have the power to do it. So, and then I get angry. I said, I just told you what was right for you, and you're still not doing it. Depleted again.
I think I've literally said that line to my kids before.
Because I thought the minute I give advice to people, and people could be children, the minute I give advice to them, what I'm saying is right for them, and I thought the minute I give it, next minute they will be changed. And when they didn't change, my inner power went, because my state of mind was dependent on their behavior. And acceptance only means be with people, live with people, work with people, advise people, instruct people, order people if that's what your role is. But do not allow your mind to get disturbed because of their behaviors. Otherwise, we can be happy never. Then it doesn't matter which part of the world we are living, because it's my habit to get disturbed which is not allowing me to be happy. It's not my city or my country which is not allowing me to be happy. And
Happiness is a choice, so they say.
I can be right here with everybody, and I every morning practice in my meditation. I accept each one as they are. And you know why I accept? Because I don't have any other option. I don't have any other option. Because I want to be happy. I want to be happy. And I cannot create 1,000 thoughts about each one I'm going to work with today. How much of energy is getting wasted? Work-life balance is not about time at all. It's not about time. It's about thinking. One day we did a little experiment where we said, today we will not think about anyone else. Do it today. Just do it for half a day. Don't create a single thought about anyone which has nothing to do with you.
That sounds hard.
Can you do that? Yeah, and if you do it, you're going to finish work much earlier today. There, that's your work-life balance. You finished, because we're not aware how much energy is getting wasted. And we don't even think about people. We even sit and talk about people. So we have a lot of time. And we are talking and thinking about that which has nothing to do with our life. Suppose she and me have to sit and discuss why she's wearing what she's wearing. Do we sit and discuss about other people? Do we sit and discuss about other people? And other people may not be people who are working with, living with. We are talking about people whom we just saw on the TV screen.
Change of scene, because all of my batteries were dying, but it reminded me of something I have to show you guys. Where did I put it? Look what's arrived. I finally got myself a copy of in Engineering, and I'm really excited to read it. So if you've watched this far into the video, drop me a comment and let me know if you've read this as well. I'll have to do a little review on it or something. Anyway, back to BK Shivani.
So and so did so and so thing in this country or this part of the world, and we are talking about them, and we don't seem to think that we don't have time. How could he do this? How could she do this? She could have done it this way. Even while watching a cricket match, we are like, he could have just done it a little like this and we would have won.
That's what we call armchair experts.
And we have all the time. We have all the energy thinking about people with whom we have nothing to do. First check. And you're going to have a lot of time. Lot of time. Because every time I start thinking about someone, I press my stop button and say, nothing to do with you, get back to work. Because otherwise, once it starts, it will just go on and on and on, because it's a very old belief system here. And then when you're not just thinking about it, we're talking about it, and then most important, we start believing that we can change them. Like a friend, go up to them, give your suggestion. As a parent, go up to your children and give your advice every single day. Give it 10 times a day. We're not going to stop giving them the advice, but give it without getting depleted. Because then you're not just giving the advice, you're giving them power. And more important is the power, not the advice. Because they already know what is right for them. Every child knows they have to study. They don't need a parent to keep telling them study, study, study. They don't need to. But emotionally weak, very distracted. Very distracted. Not being able to concentrate. Are we able to concentrate? Leave alone the children. Are we able to concentrate? Sit today to 10 minutes in meditation and see how much you can concentrate.
That's what I always say to people, that we have such high expectations on children that most adults can't even manage, and yet we get like cross when a child can't do it, and we seem to hold children to like a higher standard than we hold adults and forget that most of us aren't able to like tidy up after ourselves or eat healthily or concentrate for long, and yet we get angry at kids when they do it. It just makes no sense when you see it.
And then we want our children to concentrate. And most children today are saying, I cannot concentrate. And they go up to their parents and say, I cannot concentrate. And the parent says, concentrate. And then they go up to the teacher and say, ma'am, I cannot concentrate. She says, Kacha, you have to concentrate. Everybody's only telling them to concentrate, but nobody's creating the environment for them to concentrate. We need an environment to concentrate. So we are creating an environment of turbulent energy, disturbance and stress, and we want our children to live in that disturbed environment and concentrate. How are they going to do that? How will they do that? We are creating a low frequency vibration at home and we are telling them concentrate. How will they do that? We don't have to tell them to concentrate. We have to create that high energy in which they will not have to concentrate. Concentration will be the way to live. Then we have to do something. It's not about our children. Our children have to do nothing. Nothing. It's we. There was this young mother sitting next to me. She said, tell me something for my children. I said, you start meditation. And in the middle of the talk, after 10 minutes, she said, Acha, I will do it now, but first you tell me for my children.
I think she missed the point.
You start coming to the center tomorrow. Then after half an hour, she said, I'm asking you something else and you're telling me something else. I said, there's no answer for what you are saying, but this.
It is now later in the day, so I'm sure you've noticed that the light has changed a bit. My son is asleep on the bed down there, so I'm going to have to do the rest of this in hushed tones. But I want to finish this for you guys and for me. So let's get on with BK.
And then she said, stop making me feel so guilty. I said, it's your choice. Because you yet don't want to do it. You still don't want to do it. So first I have to be very sure, do I really want to do it? Because we claim that we're doing everything for family. We claim we're doing everything for children. But all that we're doing for them is earning money. That's all we're doing for them. Isn't that all what we are doing for them? And we feel money will do the rest.
I mean, I don't earn any money, so I kind of sidestep that one.
That's what we believe. So I believe if I give them the bigger house, if I give them the better car, if I give them the best school, if I give them the best technology, rest everything is taken care of. Now to earn that much money, I'm working more. To earn more, I'm getting disturbed, and so I'm giving them money plus disturbed energy. So earning money is very important, but not earning money plus disturbed energy. Because then we will have financially stable children, but maybe emotionally disturbed. Today, you and me are a generation which had a very emotionally strong childhood. And even then, we are talking about stress and anxiety today. Can you just visualize your children 20 years from today who have started their childhood on a low vibration? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? So it's important to pause and check, what do I want to give my child? And if your answer is, I only want to give them all the comforts, then you are doing that. But then you're giving them only the comforts. And then I'm in that, what you call the rat race. I don't know why we call it the rat race, but you call it the race. And then you're running. It's simple. Quit the race. Just quit the race. and walk on the pace which is comfortable for you. You ready to quit the race? No, we're
Yep.
not ready to quit the race. Because we thought the one who is number one in the race is successful. So we do not want to quit the race.
That's what school teaches us from the get-go. If you're number one, you're successful. Anything below that, you got work to do.
And nobody wants to quit the race. Just one has to quit the race and start walking at a pace which is comfortable. Very soon you are going to have most people join you on that side. Most people will start joining you on that side because they're going to look at you and they're going to say, this person seems to be happier than me, but they're earning lesser than me. And the one who is happier is finally not going to earn less. So don't fear. Don't fear. But we definitely have to choose the option of quit the race. How can anybody be happy in a race always? How can we be happy in a race always? Take your car and start driving to SF from here. Each one's car is different. Each one's style of driving is different. And we are in our car with family, having a good time. It's a journey. But while on the road, you look at another car and you create a thought, let's race. It wasn't a race. They were going to SF with their family in their car. We were going with our family in our car. They could have enjoyed their journey. We could have enjoyed our journey. We only created one thought, let's race. What will happen to the journey after that? What will happen to the journey after that? What's going to happen to the journey after that? Earlier you were on a drive. After that you were in a race. What's going to happen to the journey after that?
Are we supposed to answer?
What's gone? Fun is gone. So now if your partner sitting next to you starts talking to you, say just keep quiet and put off the radio. And then your partner says, sandwich khana. You're more bothered about the sandwich. I have to go ahead of them. That's become the purpose of my life. So I don't want to eat. I don't have time to talk to family. I don't have time to listen to music because I'm doing only one thing. And this all happened because I created a thought. Let's race. Quit the race. Quit the race. There is no race. We have to perform the best to our capacity, which means I'm going to drive the best to my capacity. But my driving could be different from yours. So I am going to prioritize my way of living, my work ethics, and then I'm going to work at that pace. And once I start working at that pace, I don't look at what people around me are earning. Because these are choices that I will make. Because I have made some other choices in my life. And the person I'm comparing with is probably only focused on one part of their life, which is fine. It's not right or wrong. It's not right or wrong. It's about what I choose to be and what I choose to radiate to my family. So if you feel you're driving too fast, if you feel that's the reason, just slow down a little bit. Slow down a little bit. Don't look at anybody else. It's going to be completely... And don't start saying, no, but the house is so expensive, but the fees are so much. No. Life is not about one part. You just heard her saying, my husband had a heart attack at the age of 37. Everything could have ended that day.
I'm 37 this year.
Everything could have ended. Now when we listen to things like this, we say, it's okay. Me or my spouse is not going to have a heart attack. And we ignore. Hearing experiences and checking our quality of life is just teaching us that, okay, if today we're going to say I'm not happy, do you think 10 years later if we meet, we're going to be able to say I'm happier? No. And if we meet 20 years later, do you think we're going to be able to say we are happier? No. So which phase of life are we going to be happy then? Which age?
This is sort of the problem that I have with the whole like retirement thing. People work and work and work and work, and with the aim of then retiring and being able to stop work and then enjoy themselves, like save for your retirement. But then you spend like 50 odd years doing something that's making you miserable, with the idea that when you turn, 66 at the moment, then you can stop that thing that's making you miserable and then enjoy life when you're already like kind of past your prime. It makes no sense really.
Which phase? Because when we were in the village, we thought we will be happier when we will go to the city. When we came to the city, we thought we will be happier when we will go to Silicon Valley. And now we've come here. Where will we go from here now? अब कहाँ जाना है? कहाँ जाएंगे अभी खुश होने के लिए? People are talking about going to the other planet now.
My mum and I were literally having this conversation like an hour ago about how people are trying to like engineer it so that we could live life on another planet for when we completely destroy this one, and whether we would want to go and leave this planet. And it is that, isn't it? Like, we're always just searching for the next thing. We'd go to another planet and then become unhappy with that one and start looking for the next one along. It would just be never ending.
Yeah, because we need to keep doing something different, thinking that that's when I will be happy. When will I be happy? So most important, choose the pace of your life which is comfortable for you. You and me could be comfortable at a very different driving speed of the car. So somebody could be very comfortable driving fast, but the other people are driving fast only to be at that pace, and they're not even comfortable in that car.
And a lot of the problem is that our society, or at least this Western society, celebrates those people who can handle driving fast. They're seen as the go-getters, the most successful ones. Oh, they work so hard, they've achieved so much. Other people think that they should do the same, even though that goes completely against their nature, because that's what capitalism and society as it is now is valuing.
And most important, their children are not comfortable in that car. Their spouse is not comfortable. But the person on the wheel will keep on driving fast. Because, so we have to choose the speed. So most important, choose your speed today. And don't create any wrong thoughts while you're choosing your speed, thinking, but what if this happens? What? Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. And when you choose your speed and then start taking care of yourself, of the mind and the body and the family, probably after some time you can increase your speed. You can again increase your speed. There is always a stage in life where you have to choose what speed you are in. If I am in a lot of traffic, I have to drive slower. So if there is a lot of cluttering around me right now, I might need to drive a little slower. After 10 minutes, I'm on the drive faster. But if I keep driving fast right here when I'm in the clutter, then I might create some complications which I will not be able to resolve. You will not be able to undo whatever happens to your children after 20 years.
So the thing I'm going to start doing, first of all, I appreciate that's taken me like 3 attempts to complete, but it was worth it. The thing I'm going to start doing, or I want to start doing, is her advice to that other mum. Start meditating. I feel like that is I've thought about this a lot, and I do think that's the best thing that I could do for my children right now. One of which is asleep, one of which I just heard come up the stairs. So I'm going to love you and leave you and see you on the next video.